Hello there everybody, this is Alex from Hardcore Guides, bringing my guide for God Hand Hard difficulty. Today we're doing stage 6-2 entitled Visiting Tiger Joe. He does sound scary. I know a lot of people like to tend to kind of paint him as like this incredibly powerful, mini boss elite type guy. Even though he is really hard, I would argue that I thought there's a lot harder things to deal with, but that's just my own personal subjective view. This level's a little weird because there are things you can do in a specific order to kind of make it a lot easier than what I played at, but if you're following along the way I'm doing, it still works. It's just unfortunately that I could have easily done this level a lot better, but when you get a W like this, it's just like, just take it and go. There's no reason to kind of fight over like, oh, I need to have God Hand, or whatever. There's always an opportunity to get God Hand, so it's not like I'm always, sorry, that was just me talking my, bodily functions doing this normal thing. Hope you didn't hear that. It's just, yeah. Anyway, so basically, I take out pretty much everybody one by one. There's nothing really inherently new with this part just yet. There's nothing extremely different going on whatsoever. Just the usual, taunt twice while they're taunt them first, get them enraged, combo them, get them stunned, taunt, that kind of thing. So now we have to fight, basically, the Amazonian women. That's what I call them. I don't know if they have any particular name. I'm sure they do, but it's just like, that's what they seem like to me, because they're big and they're strong and they're scary. So, which is funny, because, I used to be scared of them in terms of, fighting with them, because I used to think, oh my god, they're so hard to beat down. But, in all reality, they're actually one of the more, somewhat easier, predictable enemies, I guess you could say. Now, for Tiger Joe, I would recommend keeping all of your weapons around, so that way, you could just kind of use that to beat up on him. He does have a massive amount of health, and he's really obnoxious with that. And there's a new move that he can do, which we saw earlier, and it's something I wanted to mention about because, I mentioned it once offhand, but this is the enemy that basically ends up doing it quite often. He'll do this thing where he'll do like an uppercut. I'm pretty sure he does it for us in this video. But essentially, when he does an uppercut, just keep side dodging until he stops doing it. I think you can at least hit him during it, but yeah, basically, you can either back dodge, but I recommend just going for side dodge, because side dodge is like the easiest thing to kind of just evade it. And yeah, like I said, I know he's really obnoxious, but just keep your health things around, keep items around, and just toss it at him, and just chip off as much health as you can possibly get. And if you really need to, run around the room, taunt, and then just build up God Hand, and then kick his ass that way. That's, in my opinion, one of the more preferred ways of dealing with him, is just, potentially running around the room, taunting, and what have you. Now, watch it. Okay, so, when he evades like that, that's going to be a thing that's going to happen with the boss fight in the later chapters, near the final boss, pretty much your Virgil of the game. When he does things like that, just stop even trying to hit him. Get, maybe a few hits in, he'll dodge, and he'll probably back up or something. That's a good sign that you should probably just back up yourself and then just try to reset him, so then you can get at least a couple hits. And predicting guard breaks is always good too. I got really lucky with that flying knee there. And one thing, if you want to land flying knee a little bit more often, one thing you could always do is just back up, let the enemy kind of run toward you, and they're pretty much just leaving themselves open. And when that happens, then you can try for flying knee. Or just whatever juggle that you have, mule kick or anything of the sort, whatever launcher you have, that should, in theory, be fine. I tried taunting him here, but again, we're on a completely different scale. I'm higher up than they are, and so forth and so forth. Now, these enemies, like I said, they are scary at first, because it's like, oh my god, they're a new enemy type, I don't know what to do. They're, a new elite, and it's just like, oh my god, they got these weird annoying grabs and what have you. But for the most part, you can typically just up dodge a lot of their stuff, like this right here, that combo right there. If I would have just waited for her to finish her combo, I probably could have had a better counter. But I messed up, so it happens, don't be a fool like me. Now, if you want to do my old trick of just standing up here and just kicking them off, and by the way, kicking them, I think actually, weirdly enough, does less damage than just punching them. Punching them near a cliff and then letting them fall, I think does more damage. It's really, really odd and really particular in that way. I don't know why. Look at me trying to get a taunt off when I've got one other one behind me. That's how you can tell that, I've pretty much gotten to the point where my confidence has definitely increased massively when it came to this game. So, no doubt. And again, because these enemies are elite, these are pretty much just like, even though they're a little bit different than like the white outfitted elite, these ones still, for the most part, kind of play in that same way, where it's like, all right, you're pretty much just like the, purple yellow vest elite type or whatever, or, they're a secondary type, sure, but at the same time, like, they're, in my opinion, just a lot easier than I used to think of them to be. If you wanted to, you could always use this weapon to your advantage, but I like to kind of save it for these guys here, just because there's 3 of them. I mean, I could easily run around, and just get out of here just fine. There's no problem with that, but I like to kind of save this and just beat up the axe wielders by myself without having to use weapons. But, either way, you do you, but at the same time, yeah. And Flying Kick, by the way, is also just incredibly, like, I know I mentioned before, but it's just incredibly good. And you're probably thinking, like, how the hell am I going to get out of this one? I have no health, I've got no God Hand Charge, nothing. Well, that's the thing, though. Well, one, I have this, like, I can just, try to kick off enemies, but unfortunately I have a demon spawn, so I'm pretty much stuck, gonna have to fight him legit. And I don't think he's a set spawn. I think he's random. But either way, I try to face him toward the enemies and toward the cliffside so I can just get him out of my face and potentially kill the other 2. And of course, because he can teleport, he can just avoid, ladders. And this is unfortunate because I have to use my God Hand in order to just basically finish him off. You don't have to, but it's something that I end up doing just out of pure panic, pure fear. Because at this point, I've already grabbed all the health that I could possibly grab. The strawberry at the very beginning has been grabbed, I'm sure, because it usually drops a strawberry, the civilian. And these guys, of course, they'll give me whatever, which is kind of unfortunate. They gave me 2 money and 1 banana. So, what a ripoff. To be fair, again, like I've mentioned a million times, at this point in the game, health is not really a big deal. It's just a matter of, like, making sure you avoid just taking any sort of damage whatsoever. I know that kind of goes without saying, but at the same time, it's like, that's just my new mindset now. That's my new mindset in these later stages, is I'm trying to not worry about my health so much and just, well, try to dodge better, try to be better. That's the thing. And God Hand really does a good job at teaching you that, too. It truly feels as if this game wants you to get good at it. It really wants you to at least get good enough to where you can beat it. You don't have to be a pro player, you don't have to be a show-off, but at the very least, I'm pretty sure this game wants to be beaten. It just gives off that vibe of it, though. I should have saved the club, but instead I threw it because I was like, oh, whatever, I just want to build up God Hand and beat down these enemies. There is one more enemy you have to deal with, though, so I guess I would recommend just keeping the club for the last guy and just coming up here and fight the whips. Pretty much just kind of by themselves without using any weapons. Again, use it if you feel, because I completely understand why you would, because that's a really good thing to have. And I can easily just build up, God Hand just by taunting this asshole, so it's not a big deal, but if you want to save your club for him, this elite, then you definitely can. And I think this is the first elite of the Cobra type, right? I think so, like the knife type. Because I don't think we'll see the second one until maybe stage 7, which those guys are still pretty damn easy to beat up. These guys are usually pretty easy to beat down just in general. I don't know what it is about them, but they just, I don't know. Oh man, the next level is going to be a pain. That one is an absolute nightmare. That was a cool combo thing. I kind of forgot I did that. That was pretty neat. And pretty much with elites, it's just the same old tired trick of just like, oh, I'm just going to hit you a couple times, predict that you're probably going to block, go for a guard break your block, get a counter, there you go, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. You pretty much get the bigger picture here. This is just me, at this point, just showing off that I can do things. I just choose not to, yeah, exactly. But either way, yeah, I lost a lot of health, but it's fine. I can get it back, it's no big deal, I'm not too worried about it. It did take me a little bit to kind of get the pattern down for the next level, and I do miss, I think I skipped some enemies, but still, either way, here we go. Alright, see you guys next time.